So who would have guessed the whole time that Christian Walker was talking about
Father's not in the home? Where's Father?
he was talking about his own father.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
So what's going on, you all? Christian Walker is in the middle of this rebrand and he is receiving sympathy online after calling his trash ass daddy out on Twitter. Now, for those who do not know, girl, Herschel Walker, the former NFL star, is running for a Senate seat in the state of Georgia, which is really a tight race considering that if it's, Reverend Warnock, if he wins, the Democrats might still control the Senate. But if he loses and it goes to Herschel Walker, the Republicans might, pick up, if they pick up a seat, girl, it might be the deciding factor. So it's a tight race that a lot of people have been paying attention to. Trump has been supporting Herschel Walker. A lot of Republicans are not featuring him. They just like, girl, we're holding our nose. We're going to vote for him. So now he's been under a lot of scrutiny. So the Daily Beast has dropped a story not too long ago where they found that Herschel Walker paid his ex-girlfriend to have an abortion. Now, this is not really, I don't look at it like it's a bad thing, but considering Herschel Walker's stance on abortion rights, he's like, no abortion, no time. In any type of situation, no abortion. That's his stance on it. So this tea has gotten out, and now his son, Christian Walker, who is I don't know what you would consider him, because I don't consider him a social media influencer. I just think he's a light-skinned vampire who wears color contacts. I just don't know how to describe him, but he is a conservative or he at least pretends to be a conservative online to, get paid from tweets and being a social media influencer, whatever. That's his whole stick, is talking down on black folks, talking down on the LGBTQ plus community or liberals or whatever. That's his whole thing that he does. And now you see him getting online, calling his father out, and his tone is completely different. He's not as loud. He's talking like he has some sense. And he just really just laying it out there that his father relationship with his mother was just trash. He just was never there. He cheated on his mother several times. He had other children outside of the relationship and whatever, and cheated on her and had whatever. So it's now looking like Herschel Walker is fighting these two battles, this whole situation with his son, where the son is airing all this stuff out. And then you got this report saying that he paid his ex-girlfriend to have an abortion. And it's now it's not looking good for him. It's looking like he's probably going to lose this seat because this is a big thing. But honestly, considering what we've learned from other Republicans who've been called out for stuff, these Republicans don't really care. I mean, it's been Democrats who've been stuff that's happened and people still voted for them or whatever. I mean, girl, it's just I feel like I'm in some type of loop or whatever, but we don't know what's going to happen. It's very, up and down. Herschel Walker could still win this. Republicans could still come out. I will say they don't seem as enthusiastic about voting for him as much as Democrats are in the state of Georgia. But this whole thing with Christian Walker is quite interesting because if you watch his video, you've seen some of his videos viral. Recently I talked about how he, recently in the video a couple of months ago, I talked about how he went viral for, how he was approaching Kalani at the Starbucks and how loud he was with Kalani and just being disrespectful. And now you're just seeing online where he said all this trash and harmful stuff about poor folks. He's been very elitist, classist, just spewing ignorance, and the way he talks about black folks, the way he's criticized Black Lives Matter and all the other stuff. It's just his whole platform has been built off of talking down to black folks. So now you see some people starting to sympathize with him because, hey, you had a trash dad, this explains your behavior, but I don't think it does, because there's other people who've had trash parents and trash fathers or whatever who have not taken their anger out on people, and I feel like that's completely unfair for the folks who don't allow that to take over them, because Christian Walker has made a living off of this. He doesn't work a regular job. He's not a 9-to-5 person. This is his whole thing, like his whole lifestyle. He makes money off of it, being this loud, ignorant person online. And now you see, I'm starting to see the beginning of a rebrand as he's talking about his father. And you have Herschel Walker respond and say he still loves his son and da 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 da. Like he's trying to make the best of this situation, but it doesn't seem like Christian Walker is letting up. And I don't think that Christian Walker is calling out his father because his father is, needs to be called out. I think Christian Walker is just calling him out because it's attention. Like, you've waited till now to talk about this. Like, I don't think nothing is wrong with it, but it's just, I don't want people to get confused and thinking that Christian Walker has turned a new leaf, or he's a new person, or like this explains it. Yes, it explains it a little bit. Like, yes, it gives us some perspective of what's inside of his mind. And we all have to deal with internalized anti-blackness. We live in an anti-black world. I had to go through it many years ago, like still going through it because it's just a thing. But that doesn't give me the right to be harmful to other people. That doesn't give that. And that's what Christian Walker has been doing and profiting off of it. There's not too many people who've been able to profit off of it as much as Christian Walker has been able to. So now I'm getting online and they're just seeing how people are moving around and they're seeing how he's talking, and they're just like, oh, it's just, you see some level of sympathy for him. But we cannot forget that this man has spent the last, I don't know how long he's been doing this, for like 2 years, just talking about ignorance, just ignorant towards black folks, ignorance towards like black folks who vote for Democrats, like just talking. It's not even a thing where he's calling out the, black folks, supporting Democrats or whatever. I don't mind, because I think that's a very needed conversation about how black folks support Democrats and how Democrats have not done much for them. I think that's a conversation, but he praises conservatives and he talks down like black folks are ignorant. When you look at him and you listen to his content, he's very ignorant and doesn't seem to have any awareness of what's going on. And he's allowed to do that and make money off of it. So yes, I'm not thankful for him calling out Herschel Walker, because I really don't know if this will do anything. I just really don't know. I really don't know, but I think that this man Christian Walker definitely needs some healing. And I'm not interested in black folks offering this healing. We've done this way too many times where folks have spat in our face and disrespected us, and then we welcome folks in with open arms, like we understand, we get it. Same thing that's going on with Kanye West. Kanye West is literally like in Paris Fashion Week or whatever with the White Lives Matter shirt when we still have black folks being killed by police. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I just don't get it. Say what you want to say about the Black Lives Matter Foundation or whatever and all of the things they have done, but the movement about Black Lives Matter, like about bringing awareness to black folks being harmed by police, like that was the original conversation. And now you have White Lives Matter. Like, girl, yes, we know that. We don't have to have a shirt doing Paris Fashion Week or whatever it is to know that White Lives Matter. We see it. The United States is built off of White Lives Matter. This whole institution is built off. Look at what's going on in Florida versus Puerto Rico. The amount of money and the amount of everything, the resources and stuff being poured into Florida after the hurricane versus Puerto Rico was dealing with like a hurricane that happened 5 years ago. They still have not been able to completely recover from that. So it's just like, we know that we live in Puerto Rico is not even a state of the United States. It is, I think, what is it, a territory? Is it considered a territory at this point? No, it is a U.S. territory. And what's trash about that, there are 3 million people living in Puerto Rico. There are more people living in this place than there is in other states in the United States that have like a senator. Like, what is going on? It's just, I can't, like, it just doesn't make any sense. So we don't need to see that, and Kanye West has a long history of doing all of these things. Like, girl, I can get into a whole video about that. I will be talking about that later on. But like Herschel Walker, Christian Walker, Kanye West, they're all in the same coin. Like, all of them are profiting off of like this foolishness, like this stuff that they're doing. And Christian Walker, I feel like I'm about to see the beginning of his rebrand, and I'm nervous about that because I know how black folks sometimes are inviting, we are inviting folks who have caused harm to us after they apologize. And I had a conversation with my mother about that. I don't have to have forgiveness for people. I don't have to forgive folks. I can continue to live my life. That I don't have to be tortured to feel like I need to forgive somebody in order to move on, because that's not the way things work. But tell me what y'all thought about, the commentary around Christian Walker and Herschel Walker. Let me know in the comments how you feel. If you live in Georgia, what have you been seeing? Have you been seeing folks being like paying attention to the race that's going on with Herschel Walker versus John Warnock? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. Bye.